So I did the video about Donald Trump and the garbage truck and how that I've had such a good gut laugh watching that whole thing. That's probably one of the most over-the-top, ridiculous things that he's ever done, and he just keeps making a bigger fool of himself every minute, and it's pretty entertaining to watch. But this next clip, he goes from giving us all a good gut laugh to giving us all a good slap in the face of reality that this guy is completely unhinged and does not need to be near an office or have any position of power ever again. That guy shouldn't manage the smallest convenience store in this country ever. Um, this next clip I'm about to show you is truly disturbing. We have heard him make threats before. We've heard him talk about Liz Cheney before, and we've saw him repost things where he suggested that they should have military tribunals for her. But right here in this clip with Tucker Carlson, folks, he says something that would have got any of the rest of us a visit. We would have had knock on our door if we'd have said this, but he gets a pass. It's bullshit. Take a look.
With his daughter, but his daughter is a very dumb individual, very dumb. She's a radical war hawk. Let's put her with a rifle standing there with 9 barrels shooting at her, okay? Let's see how she feels about it. You know, when the guns are trained on her face. You know,
So in the past, when I've talked about him threatening Liz Cheney and him posting about military tribunals, I've had people say to me, MAGA supporters go, he just reposted that, man. That was just a repost. Like that if you repost something, that makes it better. No, if you repost it, you're agreeing with it. I mean, I don't repost things unless I agree with it or I want people to see it. I don't just do it for the hell of it. But there he is saying it right out loud. And there Tucker Carlson is sitting there looking at him. And I have to wonder, I can't help but wonder what is going through Tucker's head at that point, because I think Tucker is a propagandist. I think he's a Russian troll, if I'm being honest with you. But I don't think the man's stupid. And I think he has to realize, sitting right there, you got to remember, he said once upon a time, his text messages that he sent to his friends was he hated Donald Trump, couldn't stand him, and couldn't wait for the day that he didn't have to talk about him anymore. And he's sitting there hearing him say this out loud. He's not an idiot to know that, hey, he just said something that people are going to run with, and rightfully so. And again, if any of us said that same thing, I promise you, if I made a YouTube video saying that, or I posted that on social media, I would get a knock on my door. Uh, the fact that he can say these things and continue to get a pass is just absolutely ridiculous. You know, I've said for so long that he talks about the fake news. He loves to point out the fake news all the time and act like that they're out to get him, and people tries to make it out like that they've been mean to him. I always point to this: they're who have propped him up. They are who have give him every pass in the book. They are who have worked to normalize this kind of behavior, and now he's sitting there making a direct death threat to Liz Cheney. And we're supposed to be okay with this. We're not supposed to call this out. The media should be all over this one. This should be front page news on every publication in this country. It should be the top story run all day long to drill it in everybody's head what a danger this dude truly is. You know, and I mean, we have seen them just simply get fact checked on Facebook and lose their mind. They think that's the weaponization of government if they get fact checked on social media. So, they've whined and played victim so long. But can you imagine had Joe Biden said something like that about one of them, about Trump or one of his kids or something, or anybody or someone who had, came at Joe Biden? That's the thing. Anyone who has came at Donald Trump, he comes back at them with retribution, and that's what he's got on his mind. And you can see sitting there in that clip, I think that's just dark and demented. I mean, yeah, he gave us a good laugh at the garbage truck, but he's just sitting there, and you can see he's seething. You can see that he's seething, and you can see that he's fantasizing about it, and it's sick and it's twisted. And I think Tucker Carlson realizes that. I just think they're trying to push him over the finish line so that they can get in power. Then they'll deal with him themselves. They're not. It'll be interesting to see once this is all over with how they write the books about it, and who says, yeah, I was sitting there in that chair when he said that and realized that he was, destroying his chances. But I hope he just, keeps destroying them. I hope he keeps reminding us of what he is from now to Tuesday. We need to be reminded every day from now to Tuesday. I know you guys are locked in. Most of you that I've talked to have already voted in a lot of states, and some of you are fired up and ready to vote on the side of democracy. So I know you guys are with us, but I don't know how anyone could be undecided at this point. And I've talked a lot here on the channel about how that people will come in at the last minute and kind of catch up on politics. Well, if they've came in at the last minute and they see this madness from Trump and they see him, dressing up as a fry cook and dressing up as a, as a garbage man, and then being chauffeured around in the garbage truck, and then saying that he wants to stand a woman in front of a firing squad. Hopefully, if anyone's undecided, they'll see that and go, "Oh yeah, that guy was a loon," and they'll vote on the side of democracy and common sense. Let's hope. But folks, that's not a joke at all. None of us could get away with saying that. Um, anyone else that said that would be having to answer some questions today, and he should be having to answer questions. She should be taken to task for that. That's a direct threat, and there's nothing funny about it, and we cannot keep normalizing it. So I want to say shout out to all the voices in the pro-democracy movement. Shout out to the Midas Touch Network, which I'm part of and honored to be, and all the people who works every day tirelessly to bring out and say, hey, we're tired of this guy, to speak up and stand up against this guy, because I don't think the mainstream media has done the job at all. I think it's people like us who have sat down every day and pointed to the obvious and stated the obvious. This man is a danger, and anyone that can watch that and twist that, we've heard him twist it every way under the sun. You can't twist that. He made a direct threat. He should be held accountable for that. The fact that he's the front runner of his party and on the ballot and we're this close to an election is a disgrace. The fact that one person still votes for him is one too many. I'll say that from now on. One state lighting up red is one state too many on election night, because no one should have ever been duped by this con man again. But if you can't see a man sitting there seething with anger and ready for retribution, um, if you can't see that, I don't know what other receipt we can bring to show you that he's unhinged. Because I think that one, I think everyone tops it, but he went ahead and said it all out loud there. And so, yeah, I never thought we'd be here, folks. I truly didn't. But all we can keep doing is fighting on the side of democracy. And I appreciate you guys so much for coming along on this ride with me and hitting that subscribe button. If you haven't already, be sure to do so. And I'll be back with some more stuff for you.